is, what unexpected problem did you encounter when you hit 7 figures that you wish you had the foresight to fix before hitting 7 figures?
That's a great question. Who would you like to respond to that?
Ooh. Okay, I will ask Dr. Erica Jordan.
So the first thing that came to my mind was I was not prepared to outgrow some partners.
Wow.
So
just step on their toes right there.
So it's interesting because when Lamar showed that slide the other day of different categories of women and employees and numbers and teams, one of the pieces where my mind went to was, okay, I actually can no longer partner with people who don't have teams. Because the level of work that I bring to their business as a 7-figure company will actually break their business if they're a solopreneur. So part of hiring is not just to serve your clients, but it's also to position you for business-to-business partnerships, because I can't hire a bookkeeper with no team, I can't hire a videographer with no team, I can't hire a graphic designer with no team, because now you're getting ready to be a bottleneck in my own business because you're not able to show up for me and your other clients. So my name is Dr. Erica Jordan Thomas. I am a former teacher, former principal, and I help Black educators grow 7-figure education consulting businesses so that they make their salary in 30 days in their business. So I have had my business for a total of 6 years, and I think it's important to note that 3 to 4 of those years I was either working full-time as a principal and or in school full-time.
Wow. Any teachers in the house?
Yay!
Yes.
My people.
We love our educators. I love that. Yes, Enoch.
Hi, everyone. So let me ask you guys a quick question. Who here grew up and didn't know that you were poor until it was like way into your life, right? So that was me. Like, I didn't realize that until when I was 16 that I was like poor. And that's when I kind of like started panicking about life. Like, wait a minute, 2 years before college and I have no clue what I'm gonna be doing. Back then, by the way, I was in Haiti, and I used to live in a very small house that could fit only like 2 beds, full size. I used to go to the neighbor's house to go to the bathroom and to take a shower in the morning. So I was panicking. Thank God that I came to the States to live with my dad, who was a dishwasher at a hotel and restaurants. And I decided, you know what, no one who will come from me will have to worry about money in their lives.
Wow.
And thank God I found a wife who had the same mentality. And and that's how we follow the path of entrepreneurship, leaving our jobs, go to entrepreneurships, and now we have our consulting firm and our home care agency, and we're making an impact in the lives of other people, helping them do the same business that we have.
Wow, that's incredible. I know every parent in here can relate in some way to what you've said. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Okay, so I am Danielle Walton, the creator and CEO of hoopmob.com. Hoopmob.com is home of the hoop earring. We're celebrating a cultural staple and really just allowing Black women and brown women to be exactly who they are everywhere they go. And so Hoop Mob has been in business for 4 years. And we did a huge jump to 7 figures very quickly. It's a pandemic, baby, and I think we touched on it yesterday that once you get out of that pandemic, you really have to build a business. And so I'm excited to share how we're doing that.
Actually, you know what, that's a perfect segue. Let's stay right there, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to line up if you have questions for our panelists. We want to get to as many questions as possible, so we have mics on both sides of the room. So if you do have questions, this is a great opportunity to line up for them. And I'm going to ask you all a question because this is really important, and what you just said actually pointed to that, the rapid growth of your business. What's maybe one key factor that you would contribute to that rapid growth that led you to that 7-figure business?
Yes, so again, I started the company in 2019. I was still working full time, so just to give you the numbers, in 2019 we made about $1,500 because again I was working and I was like not restocking and not really focused on it. 2020 happened and I knew, like, once I left my last job, I knew I didn't have it in me to get on the hunt for another job. I'd already started the business. And I had inventory, and I'm like, you know what, let me put all of my energy into it and really give it 100%. So we went from $1,500 to that 2020 we made $325,000. Wow. And then in 2021 we made $1.3 million. And so that jump to six figures was one, community building. So again, when women find us, they're like, I found my people. Ooh, Lord, thank God. They're like relieved that they see themselves in us. How we communicate with them is very natural and relatable. But that main piece of it is that they're serviced at a high level. Black-owned businesses don't have the luxury of messing up much. We have one shot, and so we're really big on customer service. So not only are you getting this amazing product, we're easy to shop, but you're getting your order on time, quickly. If something happened to it, we're taking care of it and all that. So that the pivotal moment for us was definitely building that community. We had a Facebook group that I'm just adding people. I didn't know. This was my ignorance. I just didn't know that it was like hard to build a Facebook group because I'm like, add everybody, go, like telling my cousins, just add people to the group. It was just open. Like we're just like, wow, let's just add people to the group. And then once people saw what it was, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't mind being here. And so we built our group. Our group has probably like 5,500 people in it right now, and solely focused on our product, and they really sell to each other. Because it's like she's posting a picture and she's like, dang, I knew I should have got that. When we restock that, I'm gonna get that. So they're like really feeding off each other, and that was when it gave me the confidence to say, like, this is something that's sustainable and that I should really, really lean into and double down on. And again, it just built that community and helped me to grow. So.
And what's so interesting about what you just said, I didn't hear the word customer any time in your response. And you're an accessory brand. You said community over and over again. So that just lets us know how significant it is to you. So that's really powerful. Ina, anything that was pivotal to you that you would consider really important in your rapid growth?
I'll probably say exactly the same thing, community.
Oh, wow.
We've been able to build a Facebook community of, now it's about almost 9,800 members in the group. And we have probably declined about 2,000 or 3,000 people who have asked to join. So having that community have been like a pillar to our growth, because we serve them, we are in there, we give them values, and that way they keep coming back, and yeah, that has been really a pivotal part of our growth.
Wow, okay, so I know there are plenty of people. Raise your hand if you have a Facebook group for your business. All right, so that's lots of folks here. How many times are you posting, let's say, a week in your group?
We post a lot. We post a lot, like several times a day. We actually, because we do have a social media team, so they do that. I don't even know how many times do they post. When we have a new client, we have a post with their pictures, with something congratulating them, the link, for everybody else to jump on. So we do post a lot.
Wow, that's awesome though. I love that strategy to use content to build up your community. So that's really great. What about you, Erica?
So I have like a soft, you kind of can't touch answer, and then I have like a technical strategy. So my technical strategy in terms of like what fueled our growth was doing a live event. And I know live events are not for everyone. For me, that was a huge part of just my pivot and growth, but I would say kind of like the thing you kind of can't touch that is the precursor step to the live event is taking a risk.
Okay.
And so that was an example of a huge risk that I took in my business. So I did my first live event last September. And leading up to that live event, I had doubled my revenue every year in my business. By the time I had graduated my doctoral program, my business was making $500,000. Like, I was good, right? I was like, pandemic what? Like, we good. And leading up to that live event was the first time that I had ever had negative cash flow months. And so, you know, when we talk about revenue goals, a part of the risk is like, if you picture in your mind right now, what is the revenue goal that you have, your next step in your business in terms of monthly revenue, and then imagine that as your monthly expenses.
Right. Wow.
Right? So like that is the step in I think for me, what I had to really push myself through was this risk of taking a really big bet on me and my business, to where I had a goal of a 6-figure month, and I had a 6-figure month of expenses before my event, right?
Talk about a mindset shift.
Mindset shift, and I'm like chest tight, like hands sweating, right? And that event made $600,000 in sales, right? And so like, I think part of, for me, the shift was like, okay, how do I do something in my business? Because my core offer is a high-ticket coaching program, and the know, like, and trust factor, as we all know, is hugely important.
Yes.
There is no better way for folks to trust you than to see you, hear you, and be in the room with you for 3 days. And that means you gotta buy space. That means you gotta have food, you gotta have staff, you gotta have AV, you gotta have them slot. Like, there's all those expenses, right? And are you willing to take the risk? Because if I probably could have made, you know, a couple $1,000s without the event, but if I'm trying to make multiple 6 figures in a month, and I actually had a 6-figure cash day during that event, am I willing to spend 6 figures in order to make 6 figures in a day, right? So that was a huge part of the mindset shift that I had to have that really kind of fueled the growth in my business.
You just freed some people. I heard nugget all in the back. People over here sighing heavy. Okay, they clutching their pearls, like, wait a minute. What mindset shift did you have to take to decide to keep going through with the live event? You were having negative cash flow. What was that shift to say, yes, I'm going to keep going and invest in my business?
So that's a great question, because part of what I'm realizing at this chapter and stage of my business is what is most important is actually not my business strategy, it's actually my faith strategy.
Woo.
And so we can talk about monthly reoccurring revenue, and as much as you talk about monthly reoccurring revenue, you need to be talking about monthly reoccurring faith, right? And so like, what is your weekly practice, your daily practice, your monthly practice when it comes to your faith? Because the risks don't get smaller, like they get bigger. Right? And so the rate at which your revenue grows, the rate the risk grows, the rate in which your faith grows. And so for me, it actually kicked me into an identity crisis where I had to get so planted in who I was, whose I was, the calling that's over my life, and like just be so planted in what I believe is destined for me, right? Because I was like, because thinking anything else, like, ain't gonna serve me, right? Like, I literally had no other choice but to believe, right, for the sake of my mental health. And I think, to answer your question, I think for me, that's what kept me going, is being super anchored in my faith and just understanding that whatever my mindset was, what fear was trying to tell me, I had to understand as a woman of faith is a lie, which actually means the opposite is getting ready to happen.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And so that for me is what kept me going.
Wow. Listen, before I take off running, let me go ahead and turn to the audience here, and I'll start at the mic over here. Is that Takora? Go ahead. And you know what, let me share this. This is for everyone. Introduce yourself, your business, make it brief with one question. We want to make sure we get as many voices in the room as possible. Go ahead.
Duly noted. Got it.
Thank
Great
you.
day. I'm attorney Takora Davis. I help you remove legal targets from your brand's back. My question is, now make sure y'all follow my cue, y'all. Okay. My question is, what unexpected problem did you encounter when you hit 7 figures that you wish you had the foresight to fix before hitting 7 figures?
That's a great question. Who would you like to respond to that?
Ooh. Okay, I will ask Dr. Erica Jordan.
So the first thing that came to my mind was I was not prepared to outgrow some partners.
Wow.
So
Just step on their toes right there.
So it's interesting because when Lamar showed that slide the other day of different categories of women and employees and numbers and teams, one of the pieces where my mind went to was, okay, I actually can no longer partner with people who don't have teams. Because the level of work that I bring to their business as a 7-figure company will actually break their business if they're a solopreneur. So part of hiring is not just to serve your clients, but it's also to position you for business-to-business partnerships, because I can't hire a bookkeeper with no team, I can't hire a videographer with no team, I can't hire a graphic designer with no team, because now you're getting ready to be a bottleneck in my own business because you're not able to show up for me and your other clients. And so I was not prepared for that, and I'm actually still going through that of realizing I'm outgrowing my partners, and had I had the foresight, I don't know how I would have, but had I had the foresight, I would have invested in partners that had more established infrastructure and team, which means more expensive.
Yeah.
I would have made that move.
Thank you. Yep.
Great. Yes.
Good evening, family. My name is Tremaine Wills from Mind Over Money. I'm a financial planner that helps women business owners start and finish their journey to retirement. My question is for Danielle. In your journey from 6 to 7 figures, what was the biggest growth point for you to become a better leader?
Child, I'm still trying to become a better leader, but the biggest growth point, it really came from me realizing that I don't know everything, and I'm gonna say it wasn't easy to get to that point because I really kind of felt like I did know everything, but just realizing, I was talking to somebody today that my strengths are not organization, it's not systems and processes. I'm a creative at heart, I'm a marketer at heart, and so I feel like as we grew, I had to realize that, well, as we grew, we needed a team, obviously, and I was not the person, I'm still really not the person to lead the team. I'm the visionary for the team, but not the person to have them follow up. You know, I'm not the person to like check the work and hold the meetings and, you know, do all of the operational tasks, I guess you could say. So that, just coming to that realization, it's a lot of mindset shift. It's a lot of just self-doubt, questioning, like you're coming into a realm you've never really been in before. Your immediate friends, family don't really understand. Everybody's just so proud of you that they're not really understanding your struggles. And so it takes you to a place where you're just kind of really questioning yourself and wondering like what I need still. You know what I mean? So like I am taking as many notes as anybody else still, because like I feel like there's so much more for me to learn and grow and do. But yeah, the pivotal part is like just having that self-awareness, like, okay, this is where I need help. And to add to that, I'm still kind of fighting, like, not fighting the people I'm putting in place. You know what I mean? Like, the people I'm putting in place, they know their job, and they're fighting against my raggedy ways, basically. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so used to doing stuff very, like, bootleg, you know, and they're like, no, we need a meeting, and we need to, you know, have a conversation about this. And I'm like, ugh, here we go with another meeting, you know, but it's like, this is what we need in place, you know, so just, and I have to talk to my therapist about this, like, is it me or is it them? You know?
But it sounds like you hired well, right? You hired in their strengths so that they could build you up and make you strong too,
Yes.
which makes you a good leader as well. Yeah. All right, let's come back over here to this microphone. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Amber Donald, and the name of my company is Unite Mobility Network. And my question is for the gentleman on the panel.
Yes,
My goal is to encourage professionals all over the world to engage more with people with disabilities, to be short. But my question for you is, I'm used to doing everything hands-on. I've been 22 years dealing with this thing hands-on, and now I'm going virtual this July. So my website is unitemobilitynetwork.com. What advice would you give me to be able to reach an underserved community to be able to scale up like you?
So you and I, we kind of like cross path a little bit in our audience, in what the clients we serve for my home care agency and for your business as well. So online, I'll probably say is focus on the decision makers, right? Because our audience, the person who needs the help, they are not the one making the decision.
Exactly.
So it's focusing on knowing where are those people, where do they congregate, right? Where are they? If it's in your city, find out, do they have an association? Do they have like something where they congregate online? Is there an association? Is there a Facebook group that they have? So you can first locate where they are. Then second, if you want to build your own community now, have a cause behind the community, right? Have something where those people, they can rally around that same cause, and you can almost bring them in as like the superhero you're bringing into a single cause altogether. And once you do that, that's how you will be able to create your own congregation for them to come and talk, and that's how you will be able to impact them. That's exactly what we've done in the same case. We just find people where they are already congregate, and we go to those places, we speak, we talk, we go to those groups, we give values, like literally give values and never ask anything in return. And then those people in return, they come and follow us. And they found us after we've given values.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Enoch. That's really insightful because sometimes your customer may not be your client. And so I really like how you touched on that. I wanted to ask you all about some of the biggest challenges or obstacles that you had to overcome. And Erica, you alluded to it. You talked about pivoting, right? Did you have to have a change in any of your business model or even your pricing to be able to move you from that 6 to 7 figures in your business?
Girl, yes. So it's wild to think about where I first started in terms of this side of the business of our business coaching program, because it started as a 6-week small group coaching program, 10 to 12 people at a time. I was a full-time doctoral student, so I was actually doing it in the evenings. And I think for like 6 weeks, I think I might have priced it at like $700-800. And now ain't nothing $700-800. And so I had to pivot multiple times in my pricing because typically, and this is what, I tell my clients, if you can't afford to hire, then that's a sign that you need to increase your pricing, right? And so as we continue to grow, and even
That's a nugget.
And even now, we're actually going through another iteration, and we've probably increased our price maybe, honestly, like every probably 6 months, just because like we're continuing to grow and evolve in terms of the experience and what we're offering and growing our team and being thoughtful on our profit margin. But part of the pivot that we're going through now is we're actually getting more sophisticated on who we serve, right? And this was actually a shift for me. Is I had 3 years ago, I built my coaching programs around my vision at the time, so my vision point and not my vantage point. So like even at that point, my vision point versus vantage point of I built my program, even the name of my program at the time was called Get Launched Consulting. So I'm attracting people who want to get launched. And now, 3 years later, we're actually getting ready to go through a rebrand. I'll tell you the new name in about 3 months after we announce it. But we're going through a relaunch because I'm like, I don't want to work with people who trying to get off the block. Like, that's not my target client anymore, especially as my pricing has evolved. And so that's just been one example of many pivots that I've had to make of pivoting my pricing. And typically, I've realized as your business grows, you're also going to have to evolve who you serve, and that's what we're still going through now.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. Nuggets everywhere, right? Whole wings, plate of whole wings. All right, y'all catch that after. Enoch and Danielle, I just wanted to ask you all, because I've had an opportunity to see your businesses grow up close, and I know that you all are so committed to your families and really inviting them into your vision. I really want to know, in this community with the mastermind, what has been the most important takeaway that you've experienced? How has this community helped you launch and sustain your businesses?
So this community has been has made a huge difference for us. Before we joined TSP, there was a period of time where my wife and I were really on an island, right? On an island, we were not part of any community. Every now and then, we call Andy, but but we're not part of an actual community. And sometimes you have those questions. Sometimes you have those ideas that come up. You want to talk to someone else. Well, yeah, we can talk to each other, but at times, like, we want to have another voice.
Yes.
So when we joined TSP, we're like, okay, there is a community that we want to join. And now we were able to talk to people, get on a call with Shay, for example, with Joy and others to share ideas, or we have a question that they can help us with. So it's been definitely a huge factor in terms of our own events. And we were able to invite many of them to come and be speakers at our own events. If we're not part of this community, I mean, we wouldn't know Joy to call her and come to speak at our conference. So, yeah, it's been definitely rewarding. Paid more, I mean, we got way more than we paid into this community. And if you're out there, you are thinking about the price or anything, take my word for it.
And Danielle, really briefly, if you could add your thoughts there.
Yes, so again, how I said, a lot of my family, friends, they're just really proud, but you still are going through struggles each step you take in your business. So it was really nice to, one, have a coach. I will just say that I didn't come to Live last year. I joined after, and so my first event was Quick Start. And that's when I fell in love with Coach Alex. Oh my God. He was so sweet. Literally everything was just light bulbs going off in my head. And then just the community of all of us, I'm able to get questions answered with really insightful information. I asked about Essence, and I'm using that tool. We're going to Essence Fest next week, and I'm absolutely putting that into play. And it's very actionable items that you can get from the community, and that has been invaluable.
Wow. All right, thank you all so much. Y'all help me thank this amazing panel. Did you all get some nuggets? Give them some love. Thank you, panelists. I appreciate you all sharing your seven-figure success.
I got a pocket full of stones.